Alright guys, we are back. It is time for the ace match of this best of three finals between EloFisherS and Panthera. There's a lot on the line right now for both these teams. Hindu, last game, it was back and forth for a while. Panthera were holding on quite well, but EloFisherS eventually were able to win out in the end.
Yep, they were able to bring it back for themselves to give themselves an opportunity. This time around, though, EloFisherS is going to be first pick. The first time we've seen this for them being an option. It looks like second pick. Panthera chose. They lost that last game, so they get to choose who goes first. They chose to go second, so they wanted the double option picks available. And it was Suket that was the first option taken away by EloFisherS.
And with this, Thor does get banned out. They had the option of first pick if Panthera themselves didn't ban that one out, so we're not going to see adapting going crazy. I had actually a little checklist going on how many different things did adapting Anvil have done. It was a mid-harpy camp, a back harpy camp, and some minions. I was hoping that list would grow, but alas, that's as big as it's going to get this match. I'm a little sad about that, Hindu.
We'll see how it goes in this game, though, see if it changes this time around. As the last ban comes through from Panthera, it's going to be Anher taken away. So Sylvnaus is available here this time round. What else have we seen? Bastet once again up and available for EloFisherS. They've been focusing Bastet a lot at the moment, but there's a Sylvnaus.
It's going to be everyone's favorite Keeper of the Wilds with his lovely little tree coming out to play today. We have not seen him so far. I think every single other game we've watched on stream, he was banned out very quickly in that first banning phase. So we'll see how that plays. He's a big playmaker to say the least. But back on the other side, they're locking in Xbalanque as well as that Janus. So, still big gods coming out for both these teams.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I like the Janus pickup going out from the other side this time, though, from the boys of Panthera. They don't want to give that one over to Daza. Daza had a very, very good game in it last time round. So taking that one away is a little shy of him. He could go for his Agony again here. Agony versus the Janus matchup, very, very strong in Agony's favour in the laning phase. Obviously, rotations from Janus late game causes some issues. But Poseidon is what he's actually chosen to go with here.
Poseidon's actually a pretty decent pickup as well. You can't go through a Janus portal when you're crippled, and the Whirlpool it cripples, so kind of puts a little bit of a how do I put this? It ruins your day if you're trying to run away. You can still use the crowd control immunity from through space and time to kind of forcibly put yourself through a through space and time portal, but yeah, you have to be very aware of that early on in the laning phase. You lose that opportunity to just run through a wall and get out safely.
I just give you the opportunity to do that. It's not as easy as it is against an Agony in the lane. I mean, laning phase, he still goes in Poseidon's push power favor as well. And his rotation's a little bit stronger than an Agony's as well because of that trident mobility. Ymir locked in, though, for the boys of Panthera. I'm interested by that Ymir pick more than anything else right now because it's not something you really see Rafa on that much. Maybe he's been practicing it. Maybe he's bringing that back to the forefront for himself. But Rafa's god pull, honestly, in the support role, he generally likes the aggressive supports. Ymir is one of those, but he's just not one that he's been comfortable on for a while since his transition from the jungle. It might be a jungle Ymir that.
Could be.
Just saying.
Bastet is still available, and it wasn't working out too well. Last game it worked okay for Getfisher. Game 1, a little bit rough on that. With Batz picked up for EloFisherS, they might not be looking to get Bastet themselves, and Panthera, I don't think we've seen adapting play Bastet yet. They're going to pick up Fenrir right now, which is actually a little bit of an interesting one. He could be the soul lane or support,
This could be support Fenrir, jungle Ymir right now. I'm just potentially saying this is an opportunity for them to be able to go for that. I don't think Rafa has played Ymir. I'm not 100% certain, though. That's the difference. I'm just not 100% certain whether or not that's the case. We'll find out as the rest of the picks come through as what EloFisherS is going to do to respond to this, because they might be thinking it's Fenrir solo. They might be thinking the solo lane's not been picked yet. Maybe we'll just see EloFisherS go for Tiro Vermana once again. His tier last game played very well.
Yep, Ullr just got locked in. Vashkal did very well in him last game. That little bit of extra mobility compared to Artemis saved his life many times throughout that game. Hercules will get locked in as well. With that support, Sylvnaus getting picked up, likely going to be low successful over in the soul lane as Hercules. Jungle, Batz. It's all down to Panthera. They have the option for one more pick. And with their picks on the table right now, they could really pick anything right now they wanted to and stick it kind of anywhere because, well, they've been all over the place with these picks and bans so far.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward right now with the composition they put together. It's all about this last pick, what it's going to be. Is it going to be a solo laner? I expect it's a solo laner here that they'll pick up against Hercules. What it will be is the interesting question. Dimmy likes to play a lot of different things. It's going to be Loki by the looks of it. Not surprising, Dimmy loves his Loki. When he has to go up against warriors, if he's not playing something like Tyr, he's like, I'll just go assassin and farm forever and ever. Amen. And split push to victory.
Indeed. With that said, guys, we now know these team lineups. It's going to be Emily 2. No, they're still swapping?
They're probably still swapping, buddy. They're probably still swapping.
I'm hoping they're still swapping. This will be a very interesting thing. I don't see the God trading bar in the client, so that's why I'm like, Okay, there it is.
Patient.
There we go. Okay. Finally getting swapped around. I'm excited. They're all sorted out. It looks like it is going to be a support Ymir coming out. Mid lane Janus, as well as the jungle Fenrir coming out for these guys. So lineup for Panthera has been confirmed going forward. And with that said, not much more to talk about. We have the game available. We can, I guess, cut to a quick break and get set up for that.
Yeah, we'll get set up. I'm going to be right back after this short intermission.
All right, guys, the music has faded out, and you know what that means. It is time to jump into game number 3 of the finals of the EU Challenger Cup, week number 4. EloFisherS came back with a vengeance. Game number 2 was a close game, all said and done for those guys. So going to this one, I'm expecting big things from both these guys. There's a lot of stuff on the line for both teams. And after a little bit of a delay, kind of building hype a little bit there, Hindu, we finally got to the game itself.
Yeah, this actual game is quite important to both these teams. Panthera have a chance to just close themselves in on guaranteed spot going into the top 4 of the challenger scene. Meanwhile, EloFisherS needs to do this to get themselves a real chance of holding on to a chance of going through. They can rely on other teams making mistakes all the while, but the point differential at the moment is what's hurting them. And hopefully, if they can keep this going after the last game, they can potentially take this game away from Panthera.
Indeed. Look at some of the starting items these guys are going for right now. Ymir, Raffer is going for the Mark of the Vanguard. It's going to help a bit against the damage coming out from those wisps. They might be looking for some aggression. Ymir has very good waves clear early on with the Glacial Strike, as well as some good initiation with that Frost Breath. But at the same time, they have to be aware that Sylvnaus, his passive can root you. He has his Verdant Growth for root, and he can also look to pull you into his own minion wave with that Verdant Growth. Or, excuse me, the Nature's Grasp.
So, no early invades coming out from EloFisherS or Panthera here. Panthera, once again, with the early ward strategy. I like their decision making. They've got early wards down to keep an eye on rotations, any crazy shenanigans. EloFisherS, on the other hand, though, being lackadaisical in my eyes over the warding system at the start, and I think it could come back to bite them one day if they're not careful. They may get invaded upon. But one thing of note to be of interest is going to be seeing Raffer's Ymir. It's something we've not seen very much of before. I'm interested to see how he'll play this one out.
Frostbreath ran to Dirt. There's just a little back and forth as Yaman looks to do a little bit of damage to the Rising Jaguar. Didn't quite get into range, however. Will deny a little bit of gold to that tower, but Raffer does have to be careful. Only one more mana pot and no mana per 5 off that Mark of the Vanguard.
They gave purple buff over to Vastrical and not to Sylvnaus. It's not something we're used to seeing nowadays. Normally give it to Sylvnaus for the extra pushing power, but this time around they're going to give it to Vastrical and rely on it. Catfisher does rotate mid early on. They're going to look for the invade on the left-hand side. Left-hand side hard, though. Raffer is going aggressive onto Vastrical, putting the poke pressure on. Those in-hands do a lot of damage, 100% increased damage if they've been hit by an ability.
That Frost Breath as well hit every single thing in that lane simultaneously. Doesn't get much better than that. A lot of poke going back and forth. The Wisps coming out for healing from Dirges as well. But going forward, he has a lot of mana potions. He has a lot of health potions. They need to look to burst Dirges down or burst Vastrical down, or the healing is just going to come straight back out and the health bars are going to fill up. Raffer and Yaman don't have that same luxury. Dapthing making a little invade in the backside, jungle picking up with the back harpies over there. And he's actually heading back to the right lane, looking for possible Hercules here. But I think LoFisherS has, he sniffed it out. He caught vision of that just in the nick of time. Dapthing tags up a wave, heads back out into the jungle, and finally make his rotation.
Experience actually at the moment should be pretty much even between EloFisherS and Panthera. There may be a slight lead for EloFisherS, though they've been sharing the camps a little bit more equally, but they should both be hitting level 5 about the same sort of time, I suspect. Maybe GetFisher will have the slight advantage on hitting 5 over the Fenrir, but not by much.
Yeah, taking a look at the solo lane. Ninja Demi a little spot of trouble. Driving Strike was good from LoFisherS. A lot of damage coming onto him. Ninja Demi still does have a couple health potions. Health's going to be going back up. But up against LoFisherS, that mitigate wounds is going to be keeping him healthy. His mana bar has not, it's moved a tiny little bit as he's wave clearing around. But Ninja has to be very careful. He really cannot fight Hercules.
No, he can't. I mean, he's there to farm for the most part. You can try and trade with the Herc before he gets to mitigate wounds going and potentially kill him if he misplays it. But other than that, it's pretty much going to be a farm lane for the most part where there's kill potential onto Loki. But Loki's not here to fight. He's here to farm. That's the only reason he's in this lane. And watch him in the later stages because he'll be looking for those crazy shenanigans we saw out of him in the quarterfinals game. Semi-finals game, I should say.
We saw an ultimate getting burned mid lane as well. They were looking for a quick pick on Emily too, but the Fear and Weevil from Batz was not in a good position to actually capitalize on it. With mid-Harpy's about to come up, though, it looks like Sylvnaus going to be a little late to the party. It's going to be an even split otherwise. Batz and Poseidon on the other side to pick those guys up.
So, golden experience gonna actually go into EloFisher's way for a little while, but it'll drift back once it comes on. Mid lane though, Gang coming out. Big Ragnarok coming out. Kraken not going to save him from that as the through space and time comes out as well. Overhand smash from Fisher. The wall from Rafa is good, and the pull. There's just, you can't pull people through walls. He tries to pull Rafa back as a wall, and it was a shame he missed the pull. He could have potentially got the pick there, but first blood to Panthera. And as we found in these two fighting each other, whoever's got first blood has gone on to win so far.
That's true. So Portal does catch out Dirge, not really a big deal. Only 1 point in it. They don't want to do all that damage we were talking about earlier. It's all about that threshold for the slows and the damage multipliers, the math. Who needs it? Oh, that said, all kidding aside, EloFisherS is still doing a good job zoning Ninja Dimmy out. That decoy, however, will be getting to the point where it can clear those waves in 1 or 2 shots, and he's not going to be losing farm too much more to the tower going forward. Other than that, he is looking to rush towards that Heartseeker, get that extra movement speed online as quick as possible, just to make him that much more of a nuisance as he's roaming around the map, causing all sorts of crazy havoc.
More than likely as well. First blood though did go over to that adapting Fenrir jungle. Adapting's had a great game so far in this tournament this week, and set himself up for a potential spot as the MVP with that first blood. He's going to accelerate his boots online a little bit quicker. He's got beads online too, which is very important as a Fenrir player to get, especially when you have to deal with a little bit of CC coming out from the enemy team. Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It's totally not like crowd control on every single person on each team in this game.
Nah.
No.
There's not much crowd control.
No beads. No need beads.
Speed gets dropped down though by both junglers now. Kefish is going to rotate over to the right hand lane, soak up this wave, and probably drop the blue over to EloFisherS. Meanwhile, Dimmy and Adapting doing exactly the same thing over their side of the map, dropping the blue buff down now. As everybody else is pretty much just roaming around, dropping a few wards, picking up some harpies, and waiting for the lanes to push back in once again, so they can continue farming. Yeah,
like we said at the beginning of the matchup, there's some big stuff online for both these teams. They're going to be looking to feel each other out a little bit before they really commit to big plays. Although Adapting is kind of waiting nearby, they do know he is here, so no little sneak Ragnaroks from across the wall coming out for these guys right now. I expect the mid-Harpies to come back up. I wouldn't be surprised if those trade 1 for 1, but I do expect on the back of those to start seeing one of these teams start to try and at least group up or force a bit of a gathering by that Gold Fury. Maybe try to sneak one in for free like we saw. I think Panthera did a game 1, and EloFisherS tried to do the same thing in game 2. So they're all about the sneaky plays.
The potential for a sneaky play from the Panthera is all about Ymir and his ultimate. If you can channel his ultimate to fall and use the Shards of Ice, you can burst it down very quickly. The problem being, though, is the opposition that you're up against. Fear no evil, Krakens, they cause a whole lot of issues. So it's kind of risky to go for it unless you can see that you have vision. And talk about vision, they do have Sentry Ward control right now. They're trying to dominate this side of the map, but there's a ward in mid lane, keeping on the rotations of an Elito on this Janus. That Sentry Ward placed down to give good vision there. So both trying to control it, and it looks like Gold Fury is being thought about at the moment by Panthera because they know they've got vision control. They're trying to catch somebody on a rotation here.
Unfortunately, Irafer's kind of sitting on a ward, so it would be pretty bad by EloFisherS if they got caught out in that particular situation. But mid-Harpy spawning once again, going to be looking to trade these 1 for 1. Over at solo lane, Ninja Dimmy actually even EloFisherS a bit of a run for his money. He went for that Assassinate burst a little bit back, and once again got a decent combo with the Vanish, Aim, Strike, Bleed combo. But left side jungle, Dirge is in a spot of trouble, going to pop that Wrath of Terror before getting dropped to a portal and picked up by Emilito.
Kraken comes out though in response from Darza, trying to do some damage to Space Time, channeled by Emilito to disengage the fight. The team may also take those portals of choo-choo trains to get out of trouble as well. But Ragnarok is popped at the same time, so is Fear No Evil. But good freeze, and Getfish is going to go down a second blood to Yamin, and Bastrak has no world of hurt.
They tried to answer back with a kill onto Rafa, but they didn't have the damage quite there. Darz was just about to remember. EloFisherS, though, did pick up or get his way over to the side of the map. The boulder comes out, answers one back. Finally, EloFisherS on the board, but they lost 2 in the process of doing that little engagement. So small victory, but you know they have to watch out. Panthera, if they're allowed to run away with this one, it's not going to be an easy game for EloFisherS.
EloFisherS hasn't finished yet. He wants to fight with Rafa. Rafa's
still learning Ymir. He's still learning.
Rafa's Ymir. Support. He's still learning Ymir. You should put a wall down there. You should know he's against the Hercules. Like, he plays Hercules all the time. You should know. Jimmy did rotate over, though, after going back to base.
He only learned last game that Driving Strike stunned, okay? He's still getting used to this stuff. So
that's true.
It takes a little time.
He's getting there eventually. We're going to rotate back to solo lane though and continue the push. Lofa's going to be a little bit late to this one, so he'll lose a couple of minions to the tower, but he soaked a couple in mid too, so tomatoes for the most part. Loki might try to find him on the way back though for a bit of poke, but not going to find it. Golf Fury contestation continues as a Sentry Ward is placed once again by the boys of Panthera, keeping them in control of this and adapting. Tried to sneak down this left hand side, but the bad news is he stepped on a ward, so he's going to be hesitating here for a while and not going to find much.
I really do like watching Ninja Dimmy play these solo lane matchups. He's always playing with fire. It's like, I have no business trying to win this matchup, but I'm going to stay in this guy's face, constantly poke back and forth with him, and I'm not going to care. I'm just going to do what I can. But across the map, once again, a grouping by Panthera, they caught Durgus again. He's going to be able to sneak away this time, just able to avoid that portal. But they might.
He's avoided the portal now. He's trying to re-engage. Yeah, he's trying to re-engage, but Adapt's trying to keep him out. Axe does not hit connect from Vastrical through space and time. Does though, and Durgus goes down once again, and that is a potential goal for you. But they're going aggressive onto Vastrical here, trying to pick him up. Eat him, Adapting. You're supposed to pick him up in the mouth. There you go. Drag him back away from the tower. Freeze connects. Vastrical falls 2. Daza can't really do much from this situation here. Loki's on his way over as well, so he needs to group back up with his team. This could be a potential free goal Fury here, as the boys of Panthera are waiting for a re-engage from EloFisherS.
Love stuff could drop that boulder, crack it from Poseidon as well, could cause a bit of a havoc in the middle of this Panthera, this Gold Fury attempt right here, but they have to be very careful. There's the Phoenix drop down, boulder coming out as well. They're trying to get IRAF before he gets down to that point. Yemen gets a kill, answering back. Love stuff with Gold Fury does get secured by Panthera, but now they need to look to get out. Love stuff will not going to be able to do so. They found a kill for kill, but they lost 2 in the process. Hindu plus the Gold Fury.
Yeah, they tried to make something happen there and defend it. It wasn't going to be, though, so it just accelerates Panthera into the lead again. Harpies have just spawned as well. You're going to see Emilito pick those ones up before EloFisherS can get it over here. And the right ones are going to spawn at the same time, but not going to go for them at Panthera. They're looking to take even more away from this big bite they took out of EloFisherS. They take away the speed buff. They're going to steal blue as well.
Yeah, it's a rough situation. They're taking every opportunity they possibly can right now. They have that victory over that Gold Fury fight. Nobody here to stop them, so why not just rip apart the jungle? Oh, no. That's always the most unfortunate thing in the world. Durgus is about to spot the south. This is going to be a very sad... No, there's the blink. He's going to defend the tower. Over the wall. Leaving that one less minion. They know it's there now, at least. It's not going to be sitting on timer for too much longer. But it's one of those frustrating things. It's like, oh, they stole it away. All right, no big deal. And you forget to actually check the camp is clear. And then you realize, like, 2-3 minutes later, it's like, oh, huh. Well, I'm not getting this buff anytime soon.
Damns it. Well, blue buff being taken down on their own side of the map now by Adapting and Rafa as well. Now the blue buff's been secured. They could give that one over to Rafa if they so choose, but doesn't look like they're going to for the time being. Mid lane though, big rotation on for Emilito. Kraken only going to hit and do marginal damage, but with through space and time, he's going to challenge himself out. And back to the safety. So a couple of ultimates used there, didn't find anything for it. Oh, the monkey! No, Fisher made a really good individual play there to find that monkey bounce, but maybe I'll pay for it.
He was just barely able to get out. Mid Harpies did go to Panthera on the right-hand side. I'm also I'm liking this dual lane play by both these guys. Actually, Adapting, going deep, chase down the monkey in the end.
Did chase down the monkey, but now he's going to be surrounded by a fisherman and a tree. But he's going to pick up the fisherman, and the beads is used, followed by the Wrath of Terror into a driving strike. Boulder combo. Earthbreaker does not connect. Adapt is running for his life with Wisp still hurting him. He's going to live without thanks to the brutalizer and the access denied wall channeled by Rafa. He's going to buy his teammates some time to disengage from that fight. Adaptin just finds a kill for no response from EloFisherS.
And while this is all going on, the Loki shenanigans have started. Tier 1 tower dropped, Tier 2 tower being focused down with a decent little platoon of archers right there. A couple of them helping Loki out. It's
might die.
It's going to be close. Hercules is on his way. Ninja Dimmy going to let this one go for the time being. Yeah, no reason to overstay his welcome. He'll be able to just continue his shenanigans going forward. If he managed to get that Tier 2 tower, I wouldn't be surprised either to see them maybe go for a lane swap at this point, let the AD carry swap, let Loki go for the shenanigans over that left-hand lane, push more towers down. With those dual lane, both AD carries this game. Yemen has a small lead in the back of some of the team fights coming out so far, but Vastrical is doing a good job holding on, staying safe in that lane. He's not falling too far behind just on the farm front.
But Transcendence and Devour's got a stack going on for Vastrical here, so he's going for a very, very damage-heavy build. He's going to have lower attack speed because of it, because he's going to take longer for it to come online, and lower penetration. Adapting, going aggressive in mid, going to jump over. Forced to fear no evil from Fisher then for free. That's going to be on cooldown. And meanwhile, looks like Rafa's going to rotate around right-hand side here, potentially looking for the Tier 2 tower here still.
Yeah.
Go back to mid.
Yeah. See Ragnarok coming out. He found himself a nice little stick to chew on, bringing him back to his friend. There's the Kraken coming out as well. Boulder coming across the fight, Zap being able to use that Unchained to leap on out of the fight. Earthbreaker unfortunately can't pull you back through that wall. Raffer will be all right. Emilito going to use a portal off to the side as well. Another fight. Ultimate's getting spent all over the place, but again, someone sneak. Oh, I might have spoken too soon. There's the assassinate combo. Emilito picks up that kill as Darkseid Knight does come out. Left side as well. Yemen finds the kill into Vastrical on the mid lane. They're still kind of trading back and forth a little bit, but both these guys, I imagine want to kind of start getting out of here now. Health bars are starting to get a little low. Build is all on cooldown.
The Harpies on the left go in favor of Panthera. Again, they're just trying to try and snowball this lead now. They're winning every engagement at this stage of the game. 7,000 experience lead, 5,500 gold. Melito looks like he's 2v1 him. They don't know Dimmy is around the corner waiting. But Dimmy realizes the rotation from Durgis is there, but he's going to blink in his Durgis. And now driving strike onto Dimmy's not going to connect thanks to Beads. Here comes Yamin on the back, though, with the poison going to apply to Fisher. EloFisherS needs to watch himself here. No pull going to find from Durgis. He's going to eat a portal instead. And fear no evil onto Melito.
They're looking for more of an ensuing fight. Ragnarok, or Fenrir rather, still one of the speed buff right now. The rest of his team is in the mid lane, still on the tail end of a fight, so potentially a risky play looking for the steal. He will find him once again. He leaves one of those minions for somebody to find in just a brief moment. They picked that up, cleaned it up quickly. These fights are a little messy. They're all kind of scattered, but Panthera is gradually winning out. An extra kill or two per fight. The bleed is starting to come into play here. Panthera sitting right now 5.5 or about 5,000 gold in the lead.
Yeah, they're looking good at the moment. There's already a tier 1 tower down in the right lane. Mid lane is under pressure, below half health. Tier 2 tower right is below 75% health, well, 25% health, I should say. And the God Fury has just respawned, so keep an eye on that, because we'll probably see another fight over that one very, very shortly. It's a rough situation. The only good news coming from this, is surprisingly, is that Durgis, even though he's been picked a couple of times in his 0-2, has actually managed to get himself ult mid lane. Sorry, speaking too soon. Daz is going to get taken down by adapting there. As the monkey bounces in, he's going to bounce back out again. He gets carried off to not the jungle, but the path of death. The overhand smash is not going to save him there. The Fear No Evil, though, will find him a kill onto adapting in response. And EloFisherS is here trying to support, but meanwhile the Hunters are dueling.
They are indeed. Vashko looking for kill onto Yemen. Yemen's very far ahead right now, but not winning this back and forth match. Will it come out? It's going to come down to his last couple of shots. Yemen sneaks the last one in just in the nick of time.
The beads.
Yeah.
The beads from the axe was the big play coming out from Yemen then. Otherwise he would have been dead. He timed the beads perfectly. Avoided the axe. Well, he took the axe, but he didn't take the stun. And now EloFisherS might get caught out in the jungle here trying to defend this God Fury. He's going to have to back away. Melito's waiting around the corner for him. No, there's a wall there too. And there's a boulder into the wall. But he's not going to do much else. He's still going to go down. Yemen's going to start the God Fury though, but Durgis is back to try and defend, but he's brought some friends with him through the jungle.
He has, giving full vision of his whereabouts as he maneuvers around a little bit. God Fury well underway, swapping off the aggro from Yemen. His health bar was getting quite low. Durgis could look for a steal right here. He does have the Wrath of the Gods and the Blink available, but he's going to arrive just a little too late. Going to blink out, make sure Ninja Dimmy doesn't have an opportunity to have his way with him. Darks are just looking for some mid-harpies, looking for anything they possibly can find now in their jungle, but there's just nothing really for EloFisherS to farm to look to start getting themselves back in right now. Even the mana buff, there's no big
It's a rough situation. Rough situation for them right now to have to try and do anything. The pressure they've been put on the map from the early stages has just been too much for the boys of EloFisherS to try and sustain with. I mean, the matchups overall, Poseidon versus Janus, yeah, it's a pretty much 50-50 matchup. Like we said, Loki versus Hercules is a farm lane, but Hercules has kill potential. And adapting, honestly, 6, 1, and 5 has made a lot happen for this team. And in fairness, Rafa's Ymir been involved in 11 kills. He's had a really good game so far on it, even though, you know, he did die unnecessarily against EloFisherS, but, you know, that happens sometimes.
Gotta come on that one little misstep. Ninja Dimmy making a good juke. He vanished one way, or ran one way, vanished, and ran straight back the other way, finding his escape quite easily there against the two members of...
Yamin trading again with Vastrica. Vastrica losing this battle, has to jump away, but the darkest of nights makes sure he won't see any daylight once again today. Through space and time was channeled in mid lane there by Melito, looking to allow adapting to pressure the right side by the looks of it. Continue farming over there. Left hand tier 1 tower is going to drop now to the duo lane of Panthera as well. Right Harpies due to spawn in a few seconds time. And 17 minutes in, things are looking good for Panthera and very difficult now for EloFisherS to get themselves back into it. And there's a dead Kraken boy.
Yeah, Brutalize helping Fenrir through that whirlpool. There's the Unchained of Wall. Emilito with the Unstable Vortex finds the kill. Ragnarok, not going to connect. The boulder bought him that crowd control immunity time he needed. He got a kill answered back as well with the help of that tower. Going to drop through the portal, but will otherwise likely survive this. Over in the left lane as well, Dirges gets caught by the Frost Breath and Glacier Strike. They're looking to siege this tier 2, and it's dropping very, very quickly. On the right side, Cephal is trying to chase down 2 on his own.
Yeah, he's trying to deal with 2 targets here. Going to eat a portal to the face, though. Dimmy's going to come in behind, but get hit by a driving strike. EloFisherS did a good job there to defend, but he's going to use some poke once again from Emilito. The tower is falling slowly on the side of this new minion wave in. EloFisherS needs this driving strike to clear out the minions. Dimmy could just try and backdoor the tower. That's what they're going to do, and then maybe they'll kill EloFisherS straight after. Good news is Fish is on his way to support.
He is. Can they make a play out of this one right now? There's a Phoenix drop down. Not going to find anybody, unfortunately. Teleport in from that Sacred Monkey. They are looking for this kill right now. They need to find the assassinate is good. Ninja Dimmy finds Lovestuffle in this 1v2. Getfish now 1v2 himself, looking to run back away from this. Dirges has arrived, but they lost a member of their team, plus that tier 2 tower. It's a rough spot for EloFisherS right now. Dirges.
I'm just trying to work out how they can really get themselves back into it at the moment. I mean, they're losing the jungle boss. I mean, they've lost the blue on the right. The speed and red are available once again. Only the tier 2 tower remaining in the left-hand lane, and that's below 50% health again. And then they've also got mid lane just to focus on now. They're going to have to make a big play at the Fire Giant. Honestly, if they go for the Fire Giant, that's the chance Panthera may make a misstep and allow EloFisherS back into it, because at the moment, Adapting's running away with this game at the moment. He's 2v1 in the jungle right now, and Fish is on half health. He's going to have to run soon.
He is. Good grab by Dirges to buy his ally some time. Can he get out alive himself right now? Adapting, using Unchained Damage. Ragnarok coming out. Where he's going to go with it. Good Wrath of Terror on the tail end of it.
Sorry,
as he came back out of that one.
Oh, Loki, that was going to just dive. Bleeding, 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 bleeding. Assassinate brings up the kill. Slow from Raph is good. The wall will buy him a second of not being hit by the Earthbreaker, but he's going to get hit by that driving strike. Raph is going to go down here and trade thanks to the board from EloFisherS. Meanwhile, in the left-hand lane once again, it looks like Yaman is going to get that tier 2 tower. And Panthera extend their lead.
The biggest thing is going to be that EloFisherS need to stop the bleed of gold right now. They have a small window coming up in a moment. Both Yemen and Ninja Dimmy are level 19 right now. So once they hit 20, their abilities are no longer going to be getting that powerful threat. They're going to be no longer getting level scaling as they level up. So they're going to kind of start slowing down with how quickly they're getting ahead. That's going to be a little bit of time for EloFisherS to kind of try and reestablish things here going forward, but they need to look for something. Adapting, getting picked in the jungle would be a good start, but he's going to unchain straight over the wall. Brutalized over a little bit more distance, and he just snuck his way out of that big collapse by EloFisherS.
EloFisherS tries to make something happen in the mid lane, forcing beads onto Emilito thanks to a nice Earthbreaker. That Fear No Evil was not well placed there by Getfish. Unfortunately, Ninja Dimmy juked that one out, and the monkey's going to go back to base, crying himself to sleep over that one. As Emilito goes deep on the left-hand side, warding very, very deep at the Panthera now, watching out for these rotations. Gold Fury's up, though, in about 18 seconds' time. Is this a saving grace opportunity for EloFisherS to get themselves back into this one?
Yeah, they need anything they can possibly find right now. The Gold Fury would be a good start. Any of the jungle buffs they can manage to secure from themselves would be good starts as well. But a big problem is Janus has Shield of the Underworld.
That's Emilito.
Yeah.
That's Emilito.
I mean, it's interesting. It's a damage reflect back that try to kill him while you just use Shield of the Underworld, reflect some back.
Think about what he's got to deal with. He's got to deal with Krakens and boulders. If he can actually use it at the correct time and avoid that damage, he's going to deal so much back to them as well. That can cause a bit of an issue for the team. I don't think, on top of that, it is magical. So if you get some penetration going, which he's working on right now with that magic focus being built up, he may go for Obsidian Shard. That could do quite a bit of damage.
With the Warlock Slash as well, he'll have a decent-sized health bar to actually work with that and reflect even more damage back. This is the extra sitting at right now. It's 2,200 damage, so he'll reflect roughly 800-900 back before he dies, so he takes a full-on wombo combo from 100% of his health down to 0. That's a decent little active. Left side, though, assassinate onto Vastrical. Ended his life there quite quickly. Dark Sun Knight's coming down and looking for Getfish as well. Freedom are going to buy him time, but they might just turn their attention to the Gold Fury right now. In the mid lane.
They could. Meanwhile, in mid lane, EloFisherS just going to boulder off on to Emilito, who's going to die to the Wrath of Terror dots. No Shield of the Underworld to save you that time, boy. The Gold Fury's been started up by Yamin, and Wrath is there in the wings to support him. Wrath of Terror on cooldown for Dirges, so steal potential not going to be available this time round, and Panthera picking them up a third Gold Fury in a row.
Adapting is making his attempt at a solo Fire Giant kill right now. And his lifesteal is looking like this will happen here in short order. Nobody is aware of this right now. Mid lane, there's currently looking to force these guys down. It definitely is. His health bar is barely, it dropped a little bit as he's taking those magma pools worth of damage.
He's level 19. He's got Execution, Devour's Gauntlets. This is the build that can solo this all in all. The problem is that Dimmy's come over here and probably gave away the game to Durgis. And Durgis is like, hey Wolfie, how you doing? But the good news is Rafa was well aware, and if Durgis goes down here, this could definitely mean a Fire Giant now. Is a Kraken available? No, it's not for Daza. So Durgis trying to live as long as he can, but that wall is there forever as Rafa leveled up. A very interesting skill order here. Good Aegis coming out from Daza to buy him a second or two, followed by a Kraken, but the sustain from Adapting if he wants to with the Seething Howl will just sustain up. Meanwhile in the mid lane,
Yemen finds Vastrical. Darza, no mana to actually contest that one any further. Adapting can't be too happy with the fact that Ninja Dimmy just kind of ruined his solo Fire Giant glory. He would have had that.
The most interesting... Oh, there's a surrender vote coming out. It's not a surprise to see that when EloFisherS were way too far behind in that game to come into it. But Panthera put on a fantastic performance in that very last game. In all fairness to them, they took the game out of the scruff of the neck very early on and just ran away with it.
They played well, definitely in game 2. They're holding on. Panthera was putting up one hell of a fight. Going into game number 3, however, they got off to a bit of a rough start. Adapting was just absolutely on fire. 6-2-7. So many of those early fights as well. He was going in, doing a ton of damage, and just slipping away with just a sliver of health left. They were dumping so much to try and kill him, but they just could not actually bring him down completely. So that was kind of like not necessarily the beginning of the end for that, but they were trying to get themselves back into it, but the constant pressure from Panthera was a little more than they could have dealt with in that one. I mean, they were just constantly everywhere across the map, objective after objective, jungle buff after jungle buff. They were just not giving EloFisherS any room to grab back on and try to get themselves back in.
No, it was just a very good performance by the boys of Panthera. That's why they found themselves once again #1 at the top of week 4 for EU. That's clear 4 weeks in a row now for Panthera. And I'm pretty sure they're almost unstoppable if they just have one more week. At the top, that's 100% guaranteed. I think they'll take first place.
I don't know the math on that, but I believe this will have secured them with the way the bracket ran today. They're guaranteed at least a 4th place finish, I believe, at the end of this week. So that's a shot at the SPL qualifiers, guaranteed for those guys. It's now down to how much more cash are they going to walk away with at the end of week number 7. It's a $2,500 cash prize overall for the series, so I'm sure they'd like that extra $1,000 for first place.
Well, we'll see if they can get it, guys. That's the end, though, of the Challenger Cup this week. We'll be back once again, as always, next weekend with North American Challenger Cup Week 5 on Saturday and EU following it up on Sunday. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves here. Headed over to SPL, though, over on Smite Game right now for more exciting action as TSM are underway, I believe. Maybe. I think. Yeah.
In theory, there's something going on Smite Game right now, guys. So go out and check that out. See how those guys are doing. If you're a fan of Panthera, you might see them facing off against some of those teams here in the near future at the end of the Challenger Cup. So I want to see what's going on over there. With all that said, guys, that will wrap things up here for today. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great day.